Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Realness with three S's. I'm your host here, Chantele Francis, with my amazing co-host, Tamika Francis. How are you doing today, Tamika?
I'm good. I need coffee, but I'm good.
You need coffee? It's
Yeah,
3 p.m. How do you need coffee?
because I was up until all hours of the night ranting and raving about this episode on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, everywhere. I was annoyed. I was pissed. I could not sleep. I just, pissed. Very pissed.
I mean, I watched this episode after it aired because yesterday also has Big Brother, so I don't usually watch it live, but I watched it at like after, and like I started texting you, and like I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god,
I
and
can't.
at least though I watched Love Island UK after, so I had new reasons to be angry at things, so I didn't go to bed thinking about the fury that I had for this episode, but we've been asking for drama. This was a drama-filled episode, so that's great. But I don't understand is why the producers are trying to ruin a pretty good season. They're really trying to ruin it. And they
That's what
think
I came down to last night. Like after everything, after I was ranting and raving, I came down to, and I tweeted at them. I'm like, you guys need to clean this up. You're screwing up what started off being a really strong season. At this point, you've like literally screwed it up. You guys have backed yourself into a corner, and you got to figure it out because this is not working. And apparently, the ratings have steadily declined since Giovanni left. I just, at this point, they lost the plot. The plot is gone. The plot is gone.
the plot is gone. But if you guys are here with us right now, we are very grateful. Please do us one more favor and subscribe to the channel. It's really great for the algorithm. It helps us get this content in front of people like you who enjoy talking about Love Island USA, especially this season. This season has been the best season of the US version so far. But like Tamika said, since the dumping of Giovanni, when we know that he was not the bottom person, is very frustrating. And the fact that it seems as though Jeremy keeps on getting saved when we don't want him anymore. What is the point of having a public vote if it doesn't matter? We don't care then who's in the bottom three. Then choose whoever you want to be in the bottom three. I don't need to vote. I'm voting for somebody to be dumped from the island because I want to show the
Not
vote
see them.
count and make a darn statement. I want to make a
Yes.
statement.
Yes. Like at this point, and I don't know what it is because a lot of my last night was reflecting back until season 2 and even season 1. I don't feel like, but I didn't vote season 1, so I don't know how it ended up. But with season 2, I don't feel like the vote was as unfair, like out of nowhere, like these votes. And I feel like other than the favorite islander, favorite girl, favorite boy, which I don't think they did last season, I don't remember it being so, oh my God, this is like totally out of nowhere, the people who are in the bottom and the people who are going home. It was like, oh, maybe one shock here or there, but otherwise, yeah, it made sense that it was time for that person to go. I don't know what's going on. And I usually hate producer like I would say meddling, but at this point, if it's the Islanders that are the issue, you need to meddle. And if it's you producers meddling, you need to stop. Like somebody needs to stop.
Well, with my thoughts about it is the fact that I think that the producers are meddling in the sense that they don't want certain people to go home directly from a public vote. So that's why they're doing these bottom three couple things. And then they're throwing it back onto the Islanders to vote with a heavy influence. Keep Jeremy, keep Jeremy, keep Jeremy, keep Olivia, keep Olivia, keep Olivia. I mean, it has to be that the producers or the confessional people are telling them to keep these Islanders because it makes no sense. Why are we voting? We don't need to vote. We can have just say one person, who cares, and then we choose between everybody else. Like, if that's what you're going to change the format. But the format is that we get to have our say, and we dump people from the island that are not bringing us the drama that we want, that we don't think are there for the right reasons. If we are trying to show a message to the islanders, like, hey, we want you to maybe like start talking to this person, like, our votes show that. Usually, but now I feel as though the Islanders are able to play a bit more of a game. They're like,
Yeah.
okay, stay in a couples, like, I can stay in a couple thing with this one, and so, like, let's not dump him, because, like, if something doesn't happen, I always will have him to fall back. Like, they can play a game with who they say, as opposed to, like, they're dumped because we don't see their story anymore.
Right. I was like, just the entire season is off, and I don't know what it is. I don't know. I'm trying to remember if last season had more time, because something is wrong. Why would you bring in 3 girls? There have been more girls brought in this season than men. And somebody said to me that it's not, the show has not been fair to the men. How has the show not been fair to the men? They brought in more girls than men, that the girls have to sit there and scrap to get one man in the villa, like, to find a connection. It's unfair. I was like,
Jeremy, so he's been saved all these times,
right?
And, like, I'm not a fan of Isaiah, but Isaiah was a new man that might have found a connection with somebody if he stayed a little bit longer.
Right.
Jeremy has proven that he can't find somebody, even if he's coupled up with them. So he's coupled up with everybody, pretty much has either gone home or has been in the bottom, who's been in a couple with Jeremy. He is not going to find somebody. He is what needs to be gone so people can actually find some relationships, because he's taking up someone's spot and taking up someone's opportunity.
Right. I'm like, at this point, Jeremy and Corey, not necessarily Corey's fault, but Jeremy and Corey have both been coupled up with somebody with about over 5 girls at this point. Like, how is this fair to the rest of the Islanders?
Bonnie, who was coupled up with one person, and then they said that they didn't want to work on it with him anymore, and he gets kicked off the island, and she gets saved 3 times, and she gets to come back from CASA AMOR alone after having the opportunity to maybe meet 5 other guys. Like, what?
Who voted for Olivia? I don't know anybody. That voted for Olivia. Please, if there's anybody in chat, let me know, because I don't know anybody that voted for Olivia, that she was in the top. Now, granted, I did Kira and Will being in the bottom, not shocking. And they definitely deserve to be in the bottom. And they literally should have went home last night. That is one thing I was very angry about. If Jeremy had to stay and Olivia had to stay, Will and Kira should have went home last night.
I mean, but then we wouldn't have gotten my favorite moment of the episode. So we'll just hold up on that rant for a second and say hello to everybody that's joining us today. Hi, Latoya. Hi, Brandy. Hi, Charlene. Hi, Star Squad. Hi, Miss CRM. Nicole. Hello, hello. Dana. Dino. Good day, Earth Angel. Oh my God, a lot of people are joining us today. Yay. Hi, Island Girl. Okay, so Earth Angel snuck in a little question here. What do you think about last night? I have to admit, I will miss Cinco. I will miss Cinco because I'm mad about how things are looking right now.
I said last night that I've been saying for weeks that I did not want, like, everybody's like, Charlie. And I'm like, yes, she should have brought Charlie back, but I'm not saying she should choose Charlie forever. And I think this episode kind of plays out why I was saying that, because by the end of the episode, I don't trust Charlie.
I think he's playing a game, and I think he's going to have his head turned, and I think that Asha's going to be by herself, and then he's going to get dumped. Yeah.
And so at this point, I'm annoyed because everybody, and they're still like blaming Cash for this entire situation. And I don't understand why it's Cash's fault that I blame Melvin. Melvin is the reason we are in this situation. Mm-hmm. Melvin should have never left Cash for Trina. If he did not leave Cash for Trina, they would have won at this point.
Yeah, he messed it up there, but he's not really good at expressing how he feels.
No.
Even
I know.
Like,
I'm expecting a 25-year-old to be able to communicate and express feelings and make correct decisions, and his frontal lobe is still going. I get it. I understand. I'm just annoyed at him. I blame him.
Brandy. I wanted them to kiss too, and I wanted her just to not say anything about it to Charlie.
At this point, based on the reactions I see on Twitter, on Instagram, and on Facebook, she might as well have kissed him, because people are acting like she kissed him because she said she wasn't going to kiss him because she was coupled up with Charlie. I don't understand the logic. So if she might as well have kissed him, I would have loved to see her kiss him goodbye. But she did not, because she's coupled up with Charlie. But at this point, the way people are reacting, I wish she had kissed him. I would have loved to see her kiss his ass before he left. It would have been a good kiss.
It would have been a good kiss. I would have loved it. And maybe he walked in after or something and sees like the tail end of it and realized it was a kiss goodbye.
Oh my God.
Would be great. Could have been great. Taylor's here as well. And thanks for joining. Okay, I think Cinco really liked Cash, and Charlie is not that into her and is playing a game. Check. Yep. Oh, worried he'll stray, or how quickly he'll stray? Like he's done. He's moved on. I mean, I'm not into Charlie at all. I don't find him attractive personally. I know he's aesthetically good looking, but his look to me is like, it's kind of like, it's just not my style. He's too like, it's just not my style. Too like pretty feminine, model-y, coiffed look. It's just not.
Oh. So apparently he was on the Shade Room. I forgot to send this to you today. Yeah, he was on the Shade Room, and that's how come a lot of people know him in the U.S. because they do these bachelor things, and when he was 27, so 3 years ago, he was on the Shade Room. He was a little more scrawnier then. He's a little more buffer now. But yeah, so he's been all over the place on social media because people have been following him, and he used to do naked pictures with fruit and salad and all sorts of stuff. Anyway, not my thing.
Style of like hot guy.
No, not my thing either.
Like I'm not into really buff, muscly, model looking guys.
Yeah.
Like it's just too much for me. I need them to look like a little bit more rugged, you know? They can be a model, but I want them to be more messy. Like I don't want them to be so like perfectly coiffed, like facial hair. Like I don't know. Another thing. Hi Ti. Okay, the Trial and Go storyline got dragged out, but it seemed like things were finally starting to change. I think that if the producers had allowed the dumping to happen, when we're voting, we were expecting it to happen, right? We're still, even though we got duped the last time, we were still expecting the bottom two couples the bottom couple to be dumped. We expected like the top three to be saved, and then they'd have the three up there. Maybe they'd save one or whatever, and then they'd let the bottom one go. I just thought the bottom was going to go, even though they didn't do it the last time. So I'm assuming that the bottom person was Olivia and.
You think it was Olivia, or I think it was Jenny?
It was probably Jenny and
Jeremy. He has not said, like, it's been a week, right, since Casa Amor, just about, and we have not seen him say anything, like, nothing. He's not done anything. There was a few, you guys said jokes, haha, I was ignoring those, but I don't feel like he's done anything to this point. And even when it was time for him to, like, protect his girl in the villa, he's there, like, yeah, I agree with you guys, because they're the worst, like, again, there was nothing there. And then even the night before our vote, she was like, how slow he's moving. Or is it the same episode?
It's this episode, yeah.
Yeah, she was talking about how slow it was moving. And I'm like, yeah, like, you could tell he's not into her either. So I can't see Jeremy, not being because before this episode, people still liked Will. before this episode, I know tons of people on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram that were voting for Cash and Cinco together still because they wanted them together. So you can't tell me Jeremy was not in the bottom.
Absolutely. So like even the beginning of this episode, we see the boys talking to Jeremy about what had happened with Jenny and the Shannon fight, and Jenny went upstairs and was crying, and Jeremy was kind of talking to her, and he didn't want to really attack anybody, and like, you know, he was just kind of being a little bit soft. He wasn't standing up for her. He wasn't standing up for Shannon. He wasn't standing up for his perspective. Like, wasn't standing up for Josh. Like, he wasn't doing anything. I don't even know what he said. I was just
I don't know what he said.
You are a waste of a person's spot, and like I don't want to know any more of your storyline. I'm just like, I'm done with you. I'm done. The other portion that we saw that you kind of brought up was Jenny and Shannon were speaking a little bit later in the episode, and she was just talking about like, well, look at him, like he's just like going over. He's always hanging with the guys, and what did Shannon called him, Mr. Guys, or he's the president of the guys. And Jenny's like, he moves too slow. He's the president of the guys. He moves too slow. And like I told you, I don't care, but I'm saying that we're on a show where we're looking for heterosexual love, and the fact that he is building more of a bromance and relationship with these guys more than he is with the girls that is supposed to be the intention that he's on the show for. Right. I'm just curious if he knows what he wants. He knows that he wants women. Go ahead.
I will say this seems to have worked out in his favor, because who saved him last night? Although for some reason, Giovanni and a lot of other people are still blaming the girls last night for Jeremy being saved. I'm like, but the guy saved him. The guy saved him when it was time to save an Islander. So I'm confused at how it's still the girls' fault that Jeremy got saved last night, but whatever. So him being president of the guys actually worked out to his favor, because the guy saved him, because
Corey saved him. Corey said his name.
So at the end of the day, that strategy seems to be working for him. That being said, yesterday before the show, Leanne did a live, and she was saying, because they were asking her, what did she think about, you know, more LGBTQ people on the show? She's like, I wish they would allow us to couple up with whoever we want to. She's like, because I'm the B in the LGBTQ. So apparently she was bi. So is Florida.
So is Cash.
So is Cash pansexual. Giovanni, you know, he went both ways. Like, I think that's what they need to make the show different, because this that we're seeing right now is not working. You have Jeremy sitting in the villa doing nothing. He could have coupled up with a guy at this point, and I would be fine with it. I literally would have been okay with it at this point.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Just do something.
Yes. Cash could have coupled up with Leanne. I would have been fine.
Exactly. No, you're on Love Island. You're not on Let's Work Out with the Guys Island. Like, that doesn't make any sense. So let's just talk a little bit more about this episode. So Cash learns that it was Charlie who said something to Jenny, and he's like, well, am I keeping it too real? What do you think about Cash's reaction here? I was annoyed with Cash at one thing this episode. I wonder if you have the same feeling. Not here, though, but what do you think about this?
I was dying laughing. Charlie was like, what I do? He was like, what I do? Too real?
Please
I was dying laughing. I was like, oh my gosh, he literally has no clue. But I thought that was actually very hella funny the entire thing.
Yeah, and I just was like, so he's like the little gossip. I was like, it would be a turn off to me, kinda. Like, why are you?
Well, I don't think he was gossiping. He literally, the girl was coming there hitting on him, and I think he was like, I gotta put up a boundary. So he said whatever came into his head, which was that y'all look like thoughts. And so, no, for real, y'all look like thoughts. Y'all are social media, fame whores. I'm not into it. You're not what I'm into. Cash is real, and I'm into her. I mean, now, he didn't act that way through the rest of the episode.
True.
But I think that was what popped in his head so that he could have that on camera that he wanted nothing to do with the girl.
So at this point, though, we weren't mad at Charlie yet. We see the evening portion, like the going to bed portion, and you see Mr. Charlie tying that purple do-rag on Catch's head. We see Cinco sad, and he's sleeping on the couch outside of the bedroom.
The whole thing was so good. I was there. I was like, yes, finally, I see some movement. I was loving the interaction, the intimacy. We were going there. Cash was like, okay, yes. And Cinco was like, oh man, I'm the saddest guy in the world because I think I really did lose the girl. So then he wakes up pissed. But I was fine with all of this.
Me too. And then they said overnight, they're like, Leslie has left the villa.
So my theory, and then I also read a rumor. My theory had to be a contract violation because they got her the hell up out of there. The same way they did Noah last season, because we see when Slade had a family emergency, he was able to wake up that morning in the villa and say, hey guys, I have to leave. Love you guys. Thank you. Bye. We see that Leslie is never to be seen again after the episode, which tells me, based on prior, I will say, activity, that means that she did a contract violation. The rumor, so that was my theory before anything was said. The rumor that I just read this afternoon was that apparently she was using her OnlyFans to promote her being on Love Island, which is a violation of her contract.
Wait, so what she had, like, she said on her OnlyFans that she's going to be on Love Island?
Or she was like posting stuff and saying, I'm on Love Island, you like that kind of stuff.
How I don't know. To do that though?
I don't know. She was the only one that seemed to still have some sort of view of the outside world of what was going on, because she told everybody about the Will and Kira rumor, how what's his name? Charlie has 106,000 followers on Instagram. So only God knows. My original thought was that maybe all that social media talk, she said something or did something that she wasn't supposed to. They found out and pulled her. That was my original one anyway.
And I'm curious though, then, so if we go with this OnlyFans story, maybe this is the raunchy stuff that Josh was insinuating about. So maybe her and Jenny were doing suggestive photos and she's saying it's for her OnlyFans. And like Josh is like, what, you're taking pictures together for OnlyFans at Love Island when like we're supposed to be finding love? And so maybe that's where it all came together. I mean, they didn't name drop exactly what their social media site it was, but like it's true, when they did come, there was a lot of discussion about social media, and they really hadn't been talking about it very much before, if at all. So that could make sense to me. And maybe they got a talking to by producers that could have maybe got Josh pissed off, being like, oh, these girls come in here, they're starting to do all this stuff about, OnlyFans and this and that, and they're being raunchy and taking suggestive photos, and now we're getting a talking to about it because like maybe they gave everybody a scare.
Right.
So
I can see it. And that's what somebody said when that posted it. She's like, the funny thing is, whether or not the OnlyFans thing is true, it's so believable based on what we saw from her the entire week. So
did she explain why, or they explain why she lost her voice? I was wondering about
that. Matthew Hopkins was just like, yeah, so Leanne has left the villa. Anyway, I was like, dang!
Leslie, God.
Oh man.
So with the Jenny and Shannon conversation, the first one, she does talk about her insecurities coming out, and they apologize for the fact she thinks of Jenny as her little sister, this and that. And so they kind of like come to an agreement that like, I'm sorry that like I acted that way, and I'm sorry that I acted that way. So it was a decently mature conversation. Yeah. I thought that Jenny still kind of is a brat, and I don't see her really learning from her mistakes, but I'm happy that Shannon just put it aside and moved on.
Yeah, the conversation was good because Leslie was gone. So there wasn't that other factor to rile Jenny up about it, you know.
Mm-hmm. So, her name Trina comes in and she's like, "Morning, Prince Charlie," and Cinco. Oh my God, I still want to say Cinco's name.
Yeah.
Cash is talking to Charlie, and he's like, "Oh, everybody calls you Prince Charlie because I call you Prince Charming." So there's one thing though, the way that Cash talks about Charlie, in my opinion, isn't the way that you talk about someone that you're interested in. Like how she's like, you know, he's such a good man. He's such a good man. Like that's a good man. And it sounds like it's supposed to be good, but like there's something about it that doesn't seem real. Like she's not into it. I think she's forcing herself to be into it as well.
I think to this point he hadn't given her anything to be suspect, so she's like, came for me. He's all about me. I'm not seeing any red flags yet. He explained why he built up that wall and wasn't, you know, as into everything the first couple of days. Got that. And I think it's telling that she said, you know, he's literally a prince, but I never saw myself as a princess. Which I thought it was extremely like poignant to me.
Hi Connie, thanks for joining us. So yeah, I noticed Charlie barely touches Cash when they're kissing.
I've been saying this for a week. If you look on Twitter, everybody's insisting that he's all over her and she's not telling him everything. And I'm just like, I've not seen him bit around her. I saw him more around Jenny than he was around her. Even when they got the text the next day, he was sitting with Jenny. He wasn't with Cash.
Okay, this is an interesting point. Island Girl says, I would love a plot twist with Cinco because we haven't heard him resurface yet. He hasn't come onto social media and stuff like that yet. So what if they save him and bring him back for another recoupling as like, he's like, I want to go back and I want to go back for Cash.
Oh my God, that would be amazing. I wonder if they would do that.
That would actually be good.
Like The Bachelor? Like, that? No, I'm going to go get my girl?
Yeah, he's like, I couldn't walk away. Like, say to the producers, please give me a chance to go back as a bombshell again and let me go and pick the girl that I should have picked to begin with.
I think that would turn the season around. I actually think, you know how it doesn't work in The Bachelor? It seems contrite and fake and unreal. I think that would work in this situation. I think
Okay, so Chex, do you think, thanks for joining us, do you think that would turn around the season? If Cinco tells the producers, like, I'm not going home yet, I need to leave with the girl, I want Cash, she wanted me to show her that I'm here for her, this is how I can show her that I'm here for her, let me go back as a bombshell, and let me take her out on a date, and let me tell her how I feel. I'll be back at her.
Yeah, I don't think they're smart enough to think about allowing something like that.
That would be so good. Producers, just hear me. This is what people would love to see.
He's on social. He just posted this morning.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Cinco, man. Still in Hawaii time.
He's so much sexier than Charlie.
He screwed this up so bad, guys.
About to do the Q&A for y'all, you know what I'm saying? So hit me up, ask me questions, you know what I'm saying?
He screwed this up so bad. He screwed this entire show up so badly. I swear to God. So he would have left Friday, right? Friday was probably the dumping, right?
Officially, but he would have been dumped probably before that.
Oh, okay.
So MKM says one thing to say. Jeremy's still here. We don't know.
We don't know.
Father works for CBS and wants him to be on this show to gain some notoriety, I think. Hi, Alexandra. Thanks for joining us. Oh, we are pissed too, LaToya. Jenny and Charlie are game players on her story. Ooh, Wait, Jenny said Charlie is a game player on her story and my heart sunk. Okay, can you look that up? Can you look up Jenny's stories? Let's see if it's still there.
Jenny, Genevieve. I'm telling you, I think he was on the down low wooing her. So if she said that, I would not be surprised, because she kept feeling like he was into her, and he seemed to be all over her. And then what he did in the striptease dance, yeah, I was not happy. With between her and Cash, no, I wasn't happy.
Definitely was pissed. Okay, so
she said, it says, who do you think is better for Cash, Cinco or Charlie? She said Cinco. I'm trying to see if there's anything else.
So he's over everything in the morning, and he's just like he was being rude, like he's giving attitude, and like I was just like, why is Cinco playing this? Like, is this so he doesn't get hurt? The fact that like he doesn't know what to do to get the girl, he's going to lose the girl, so he's just going to throw a temper tantrum. Like, I wasn't feeling the way that he started acting this morning. But we did see Corey bring Olivia breakfast and orange juice. So I was like, excuse me, Corey. And I was like, oh my God, isn't Jenny going to get jealous? And I'm like, no, Jenny is Jeremy's girl. So Jeremy didn't bring her like a crumb. And Leslie's gone, so it didn't matter. So I was like, okay, that makes sense why he brought that to Olivia. So Cash decides to give a twerk class.
Oh, this is bad.
Sure, I was never going to go there, but anytime me and Charlie were alone, he would hit on me. He would tell me I was so hot, but I actually heard that he was talking so much shit on me to the boys, so I think Charlie's fake.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Because like they kissed, I think they both kissed for the Kiss Mary Pie.
That's what I'm saying. You could see it. He was always around her randomly. And so I could definitely see him trying to use her as a backup.
Yep.
Because I don't think he either A, anticipated Cash actually staying with him, or B, didn't really want her. Because based on his two reactions, his coupling at Casa Amor, and when she told him in this episode that she wanted to be with him, I don't like either reaction. They weren't happy reactions.
T.I., we're with you here. T.I. told us that since they dropped the 4 Islanders, it's just been downhill since.
Yeah, you know, they should not have dropped 4. They should have kept
dropped 2.
And they could have dropped 4 this episode. If they had dropped 4 this episode, sent Jeremy home, sent whoever else was not really coupled up home, I think we would have been fine with it.
Jeremy, Jenny, Will, and Kira.
Yeah, and I think that would have worked. But sending those Islanders home screwed up the entire season.
Well, I mean, especially because like Wes and Amy would have ended up becoming a front runner. Like we would have like seen. I don't think he said that his head wouldn't have been turned like by anybody in any of those girls in Casa Amor. They're also seemingly very juvenile compared to what it looks like Wes wants in a partner. So I don't think that he would have his head turned at all. And it doesn't look like Amy would have had her head turned by who? Gabe? Come on now. So yeah, I mean, I think it still would have added a nice dynamic, at least some people like going on dates, because I'm sure that people would have tried to get to know them. And Giovanni would have had just a chance. Like, I don't know if he would really have matched with anybody, but Jeremy didn't do it either. At all. At least Giovanni's fun. All right, so Cash is giving a twerk class, and I thought that was really fun. I was laughing. Did you enjoy it?
I thought it was cute because I was like, oh, this is apropos for what's going to happen at the end of the episode. Well, in the middle of the episode with the striptease challenge. So it's kind of fun to see who can move and who couldn't. Because I was shocked at who brought it during the striptease challenge. I will say the striptease challenge is my favorite game. I think it's like the best game that they've done. That and Kiss Mary Pie, I think I always like too. But yeah, they did a really good job here in this episode too. Still, I think for me, Justine probably did the best job for me, but
Yes.
I really liked her performance. But she's also a dancer. This episode, I was shocked. Like, I don't think before I was shocked at and some of the dances that were done. This one, Olivia shocked me.
Yeah, Olivia was shocking. But so I love the twerk class though, because it was just like seeing all the guys how stiff they were. I thought that was really funny. And then after you see Cash going over to Cinco, who wasn't participating at all, and he was just kind of sulking on the outside, and that he was going to be boxing now. Who's his new boxing buddy?
It was Josh, Jeremy, Josh.
Josh. And she's like, "What, do you have a new boxing buddy?" And like she was just kind of teasing him like that. You know, they weren't boxing together anymore. And he's like, "No, you're good. You're good." And he started giving her the cold shoulder. And I was like, why is he being rude to her for the fact that you wouldn't make up your mind? You choose another girl, you break her heart, then you won't decide that you want to come back with her. Like, you won't tell her that you're interested in moving things forward with her. You won't fight for her with her. And you allowed her to go to this new guy. And now you're giving her attitude? I'm sorry.
I thought it was so wrong considering what he did to Cash when he was coupled up with Trina. She was supposed to be okay being his friend, boxing with him while he was then stopping to go over and kiss Trina or hang out with Trina when he felt like it. It definitely wasn't like fair, like at all. Like I was like, Cinco really pissed me off the entire episode. I'm going to tell the truth. By the end of it, I was okay with him going home. I know that people are not okay with him going home, but
I'm not okay with him going home over Jeremy. But
right.
Like, fine.
Not him going home over Jeremy, but I was okay with their reasoning for why they sent him home. But they all, again, the girls didn't choose Jeremy. The boys chose Jeremy. I do feel like Will should have went home, but I was okay with the reasoning based on what was left. I understand the reasoning why they sent Cinco home, because he screwed himself up at the end of the day. At the end of the day, he did not play this day right. I feel like if he had kept doing what he was doing, maybe, because she kept saying, "Do you think that that he'll be able to find anybody else other than me and her in here?"
Well, so one thing that I think was part of this decision too is that I think they were in the change room and getting ready, and Shannon was like, "Cinco and Jeremy, they're checked out. We should have saved Giovanni." And so they said that they should have saved Giovanni, and we don't know if it was the producers that pushed them to make that decision or what, but they're having buyer's remorse here with the fact that, like, what was the point of us saving Jeremy in this whole scenario when he hasn't been putting in any effort to finding love? And Cinco either. He hasn't been either going all in with Trina, going all in with Cash, saying goodbye to both of them, finding a new partnership in somebody else. Like, they both have stopped going for what they were in this villa for. And so I think that that's probably also one of the reasons why they were able to let Cinco go in the end, because he seemed checked out and he wasn't putting in any effort for either of the women.
Yeah.
So Cash talks to Cinco and she's like, "You were rude to me." And he's like, "Rude how?" Like, and then he starts talking about how the pie challenge, and he understood why, Trina and her were like pied him, but like the fact that the other girls were like treating him as if he's a player and whatnot. And I'm like, wait, you're okay. So your actions are revealed in a challenge where people aren't really impressed by how you're treating their friend, and now you are giving attitude to the person that they were defending. How does that make any sense, Cinco?
I agreed with him to some respect. I just don't agree with who he was taking it out on.
Well, I mean, but it's a game, though. Who else are they?
Right.
Like, they're allowed to pie
whoever they want to. Right. I agree. That's what I'm saying. In some respects, I agree, because I feel like he probably didn't like the way it made him look.
Yeah.
But because he even said, he's like, oh, I feel like I deserved Trina's, probably more than anybody. I said, you deserve cash too. Don't sit there in front and act like you didn't deserve both of those pies.
And you deserve like the girls, the other women that did it, because they're the one that are comforting and hearing them talk all night long about the messiness that you are bringing them into.
That's true.
They deserve to give you a pie. You've been treating their friends like crap.
Right. That's true. But again, we only see the only person that seems to have any smoke for Will is Shannon. She's the only one that pied him. She's the only one that has smoke for him at the end of this episode. And so I don't know if it's because the other girls are moving as Kara moves, meaning Kara is like pretending she's over it and it's all okay and it's all good. She and him they had the best, because isn't that what they said? Oh, I don't know if they saw that we had the best relationship in here. I was like, y'all don't got no best relationship in the villa. Who told y'all that? That's why y'all were in the bottom.
Nope. But Cinco doesn't want to hurt anybody, and he wants the best for her. And I'm just like, Cinco's just not saying what he needs to say
at all.
You either get the girl or break it off. Like, he's just not saying what he needs to say, and so he's pissing me off. I'm like, you're giving attitudes to the wrong person, and you're not saying what you should be saying to this person. And I was just like, I was actually done with him at this point. I was like, I don't like this attitude that you're giving Cash, because she's doing her best in this moment. So then we see Cinco go and talk to Jeremy, complaining to Jeremy about Cash and about how Cash is now wanting him to make the effort, but like he's in like a triangle now with Cash and Charlie, and Cash is like him, and she's like dangling both of them and not making a decision. It's like, wait, no, she wants you to show her that you are worth her effort, that if she decides to go for you, that you are going to want to be there for the long haul. And you won't do that. You're actively choosing not to bring her breakfast in the morning, bring her a coffee, like give her a hug every once in a while, pull her for a chat and say like, hey, what can we do? How can we work together? Like, I really want to be with you. Like, it's not that hard, the things that he needs to do. There's not much else to do in the villa. Figure it out.
I was beyond annoyed. I with Charlie, I did agree with him on the, all we talk about is the Cinco thing. So I agreed with him that I wouldn't want to, if it was me, I wouldn't want to be talking about the next guy all the time. I would want to talk more about our relationship. But I understand where Cash is. I haven't seen very much effort from Charlie. All I hear are words. I hear words from him. I hear Cash is genuine. She's the one I want. I'm here for Cash. She's the one I want. I am not seeing that she's the one he wants. And so at the end of the day, that makes me side-eye you, because I'm not the type of person. I will literally not talk to a person. I will sit in a room and sit back and watch people and watch what they do. Because to me, action, you can say whatever you want to. It does not have any meaning behind it unless you put action in it. Same thing with Cinco. Cinco did not put no action through any of his words. For weeks. And then the last week, he did it a little bit, and then the minute that things got hard because the girls got pissed off at him, he then gets annoyed with her and comes at her. No, I was not happy with him.
Well, so the next conversation is that Cash and Charlie conversation, and you might be understanding where Charlie's coming from, but I was actually pissed with Charlie, and I thought that this was the moment where Charlie was deciding that he was not going to be putting in any more effort for Cash, and that he is looking for his out strategy, because we both talked about it many times, about when he was still on CASA AMOR with Cash. She said, if I bring you back with me, you have to know and you have to understand that I'm still in a situationship with Cinco. Are you willing to be there with me through that? I won't know exactly what I'm doing and how I'm moving, but if you're willing to be there? Like, are you going to feel uncomfortable that there's going to be another man that like I'm still thinking about? And he says, I can handle myself. Don't worry about me. I can go toe to toe with the other guy. I don't really compare myself to anybody else. And so he reassured her that it wasn't going to be an issue when he he were to bring her, she were to bring him into the villa. And so I get it. You know, when you're in the accident situation, it's different than if, you know, what you think and how you think you're going to react before you're in a certain situation. I get that. But the fact that she's like talking to him, she's just trying to let him know where she's at so he's not blindsided. She's trying to just communicate with him. And I get you don't want to hear about the other guys, so fine, say that to her, like, do you know what, I understand that you're trying to be honest with me. Let me know where you're at and where you are in this relationship so I can know where I am with our relationship. But it actually hurts me a little bit when you talk about him too much. I thought I was okay with it, but I like you so much that I would prefer, like, let's just talk about our relationship.
I agree with all of that. I agree with all of that. That's exactly what I would have wanted. And I wish I had seen a little more from him. And, you know, according to everybody else, Cash is a manipulative, lying person. And she's manipulating Charlie all this time. I said, how can you manipulate somebody that you tell the truth to, you ask them how they feel, you tell them the situation, and you ask them if they're going to be okay with it. Okay, you come back to them and they say they're not really okay with it, and you say, okay, what can I do? And you try to change your actions, and they knew the situation going in, and so what you do is at every step you tell them, this is what's going on, this is how I feel, but I'm still, you know, you're my main person, and you do things. She's kissing him, she's hugging him, she's trying to be all over him. I'm not seeing it reciprocated, and at the end of the day, he's still making it seem like it's her. So who's the gaslighter and who's the manipulator? Because I don't feel like it's Cash. I feel like it was Charlie.
Well, a lot of people are coming for Cash, saying that like she's leading him on, and
because I think she does like him. What people don't see, what people want to make it seem as if Cash doesn't like Charlie at all. But I think she really does like Charlie. I think she likes Cinco more because she doesn't know Charlie, which is what she said. She's like, I just needed time to get to know you, to know who you are. So why is it that when the men want to decide and sit on the fence and figure out who they have the best connection to, they are allowed to go back and forth, straddle the fence, take their time, and
literally a month. It literally took a month to get nowhere.
Right.
And Cash has taken 3 days to be like, okay, let me just see if there's something still with me and Cinco. If he's willing to maybe put the effort in with me, like, let me see if that's something that's still there. But I am interested in you, Charlie. I don't want you to go anywhere. I just need to figure out this out for myself. Can we do this together? Will you be there with me? Yes, I'll be there with you. And then like 3 days later, everybody turns on Cash and she's like a horrible person. And Cinco turns on Cash, being like, you're juggling me, like you were mad that I juggled you. And I'm like, this is not the same thing at all, Cinco. At all. Because you're supposed to be trying to get her at this point. I was pissed. So yes. Cash decides to go and have another chat with Cinco. And she's like, oh, can I have another chat? Is that annoying? Is that really annoying? And she decides that, you know, she wanted to break it off. And I think that with the conversation she had with Charlie, she was like, you know what? I'm not being fair to him. He's here for me. And Cinco is not giving me what I need to be able to make a decision to stay with him or stay with Charlie. So his lack of intention and action means that like I'm not going to be waiting around for him anymore. And so she decides that she wants to put on her focus on Charlie, that she feels bad about this. She doesn't want to hurt Cinco's feeling. And he's like, I'm good. Don't worry about me. I'm good. Don't worry about me. But she's like, can we not be weird and stuff? Can we still be friends? And he kind of says, yes, they can still be friends. And I was just hoping that like Charlie would be like, yes, she chose me. Thank you so much. Thank you. But no. Charlie decides to give her the complete cold shoulder, saying that he doesn't really trust like how quickly she decided to end it with Cinco. And it's like, she's been deciding for the last 3 days and she finally made a decision. You make a decision in one moment, right? It's like you say yes or no. You break something off with someone in one moment. And she told him about it right after. and she thinks she's moving too quick. She switched too quick. I don't even understand that logic at all. So you tell me what you think about that. I was pissed.
So that was the point when he reacted the way he reacted is when I started like hardcore. Okay, I'm watching how he moves. And then the next thing I know, he's sitting next to Jenny. I do not trust this man because to me, if the person is a girl for you, you knew that you were going to win this situation. I mean, we all did not like Trina's, I will say, reaction to when Cinco chose her. But at least, you know, she was happy that he chose her and showed it. Nothing from this man. Nothing from this man. I'm not a fan.
He just be like, oh my God, like you did that? Like, he could still be nervous. Be like, I mean, I'm so happy that like we're just going to be focusing on us right now. He's like, are you sure that this is what you want? Like, are you sure you want to go all in? Because like, I'm going to open myself up to you right now if you're promising me that like the focus is me and like you're not like, your heart's not in two places. And she'd be like, I want to focus on you. This is who I want to put my energy into right now. And they should have been able to move forward. But the fact that he's like giving her like attitude and be like, yeah, well, I think that you made that decision too quickly. Sorry.
Too quickly? What? She like according to you, she's had multiple conversations about the same thing. And you are now all of a sudden just shocked that she decided to choose you, but because you weren't doing anything. I would be shocked too if I was sitting around doing nothing for this girl and she decided to choose me anyway. I definitely would be shocked. Or that
maybe he thought that Cinco would have done something to win her back. So he would have been single on the island and he would be able to go talk to Jenny or some other new girl that came in there.
But I'm for sure that's what he thought.
He didn't expect her because he's not giving her anything to make her want to be invested in him, right?
Yeah.
So he's like, oh, damn, like I wasn't really into her. Like I just wanted to get into the villa, and I thought that we at least would have been in limbo for longer, so that like maybe somebody else would have come in and be like, sorry, man, you were on the fence. I found somebody else that's all in for me. So I think that the quickness was that he didn't have enough time to go find somebody else, and now he's stuck in a relationship with Cash, and he's just not that into her. Pissed. And Brandy, I think, is pissed. Well, she's scared. Brandy says Cash might be the next out because of Charlie's attitude. And I don't think it's going to happen, but...
Okay, so at the end of the day, he would have to either switch to Trina or keep Cash, because that would mean that they're about to kick out both black girls in the villa. Because who is Trina staying with? So either Charlie switches and two new guys come in for Trina and Cash, and then he switches and he's going to get dumped. Nobody's going to vote for Charlie. Right, because everybody's saying Cash and Trina are basically in jeopardy. They would have to bring in a guy to save one of them. And at this point, if they want to keep their show, even with the miserable ratings that they have now, they better keep Cash.
And where's Benny? Like, bring Benny back or something. Not Bennett. Benny.
They need to go. They better send Cinco a ticket and fly his ass back in.
Right? T.I. says, yes, they need to stop letting them save people. Absolutely. Like, they're ruining the formula. What makes Love Island UK so captivating is that, like, people are really scared because they're at risk of the vote. They don't know how the public is perceiving them. And so then they're just like, oh my God, who is it? And then they're able to understand how their actions are being, displayed, and people are perceiving them in the audience by who is dumped from the island. People have had shocking dumps. And on this season, it's like, in the US, they just don't want
There's no shock value. Like, that's what I'm saying. Last season, it felt like, okay, there was one or two shocks. Like, for the Islanders, they were like, oh, I'm shocked that happened. I didn't see that coming. But we did. We knew it was going to happen. We voted for it to happen. So we're not shocked because we knew that those people, they did not deserve to be on the island. And the Islanders couldn't do anything about it. No OGs got saved. No faves got saved. It was a whole different bag. This year, I don't know why it feels like, it seems like the format is the same, but somehow it's not the same. Because are they not like, don't they normally immediately dump the couple with the lowest votes and then they give one Islander a lifeline from each gender, right? I'm not crazy. That's what they used to do. So
I don't know if it was on the US. I don't remember on the US if they did that.
I have to go back and watch season 2, and I'd have to go back and watch the dumpings on season 2 because I'm so completely confused at why it seems like the method is the same, right? We're voting the same way, but somehow the people we're voting for aren't getting dumped.
I mean, I think how they're going to spin it is that sometimes we vote for the couples to save and the Islanders at the lowest vote gets dumped. They haven't said that specifically yet. They keep on saying at risk of being dumped from the island. And I think that is their way of saving the bottom people from actually being dumped because they have their own agenda and they think they know what the audience wants.
So unless they do something similar to like Love Island UK has done and kind of what happened this past vote where they exempt Trina and Cash from the vote because they have guys coming in and just dump the lowest couple. And we know that's probably going to be Charlie and who if he couples up with somebody else, right?
Okay, Island Girl says, Charlie will not go anywhere. His focus was always the money. Cash equals money. No, but if he was looking for the money, like
he would stay with Cash.
Faking it. He would be like, you're my queen. I'm so happy that like you could feel what I'm feeling. Like he would be laying it on thick that we'd be thinking he was lying. Like there's no way that he'd be giving her the cold shoulder so that she's going to be regretting her decision of staying with him. There's no
that's why I'm saying I'm side-eyeing him because I'm trying to figure out what his game is. Is it that he's trying to make it like it's not an easy path and keep himself in the forefront with her? Do you understand what I'm saying? Or because otherwise it would be boring, right? You know what I mean? Or is he really like thinking that he's hot shit and he can dump Cash and stay in the villa to get to the end for 100K?
I mean,
because
I think
he can't
people don't realize it. Like they forget that like there's going to be votes and stuff like that. I think that they just want to get to the villa and they think that once they get there, I agree that they are hot shit and they will be able to get to the end, but they don't realize
if you've never seen the show before, you don't really know how it works. So if he was stupid and didn't watch the show, maybe because then he wouldn't realize that first of all, the Islanders have to vote you into the finale, right? So if it's all OGs, your ass ain't getting into the finale. And then also we vote. So you're not getting into the finale.
Nope, not at all. Jayquan says, I thought that Will and Cinco were going to be saved while Jeremy was going to go. Yep, 100%.
I would have been okay with that. I don't understand, like, why Jeremy didn't go home. I'm not getting it.
T.I. also thinks that Trina and Cash are both going to be gone next recoupling. Should have brought in more guys.
That one of them's going to be saved.
We're going to do a recoupling with 3 more women. So that there's going to be 9 women and 5 guys?
No, they got to bring in more guys. You're right. There's 3 women. How much women are there? Shit, you're right.
Shannon, she's not in contention. Kira's not in contention. Olivia's not really in contention. Cash and Trina. And then 3 new girls.
And then 3 new girls. Did you say Shannon? Shannon, Olivia, Kira, Trina, Cash. So that's 5 and then 3. So 8. And then there's how many boys? 5 boys?
I think so. Jeremy, Will, Josh,
Yeah, no, they've got to bring in at least either 2 more boys or 1 more boy. Yeah, they got
I don't
to.
know why they're bringing in 3 girls, and so
I
then
don't know why they brought in 3 girls. It
Jeremy
literally
has to
should
have
have
another
been.
pick. It's like just to
Yeah,
try to find Jeremy a girl.
I guess so. It should have been, because I know they know people hated Jenny. It seems like they're trying to get Jeremy to the finale. That is my opinion. I don't see any other way that it's going down. Anyway, there should have been 2 guys and 1 girl. We should have got Alana, because I like her body type is different than any body type that we've seen of her size prior to this, and 2 boys. It literally should have been like, I think they did that on UK, right? There was Tyler. That's when Tyler came in. So it should have been the opposite: two boys and 1 girl.
Hi, Ariana. Thanks for joining us. So Jeremy was saved by default last night. I know it's garbage. The boys didn't know if the girls were going to save Kira, so they didn't pick Will. They didn't want to save Cinco first. I mean, Corey is the one that he blurted out to save Jeremy. I don't know why, but it's like because he's president of the boys club. Like, I roll. I can't even deal. Hi, Dana. So Olivia and Jeremy need to go. Absolutely. It's time. Like, they aren't able to find what they're looking for in the villa. I don't think that Olivia's actually into Corey. But I don't dislike Olivia, though. So she can stay over Kira because I'm done with Kira and Will. But at this point, like, they need to be bringing in more guys because the women are having more of a difficult time finding people that they connect to. And Jeremy, obviously. Why is Will still there? The way he spoke to Shannon wasn't right. Oh, we're going to get to that. Okay, let's talk quickly. So Will and Kira, they talk about, how things are so much better with them now. And that, he says that he feels that he's falling in love with Kira. And like, I was liking Will in the very, very beginning. I thought he was very handsome and attractive and charming. And now to me, he looks like he's a manipulator. I feel like he found somebody in Trina that's going to be submissive, that is going to allow him to do whatever he wants to do, that she's just going to say yes to whatever he says, that like listen to him. Like he found somebody that will be so loyal that they will look stupid. I remember when I was saying like he's the type of guy that's going to have the family like on the other side of the country. He's that guy. He is that. It's becoming even more apparent that he is that guy that's trying to hide his secret life, trying to hide his real personality. And I wish that Kira was a stronger person to be able to see it coming, because like he's not even being that subtle about it. I'm just like, now he kind of grosses me out. Like all the things that I was like, oh, he's cute. Now I'm like, ooh, like you're dangerous because like you. Like, it's like somebody that could be like a murderer and like you would never know. Like, he's so nice. He's such a nice smile. But like, you know what I mean? Like, not that he's a murderer, but like he's just has a secret identity. He has a secret side that he's not showing to Kira. And it's scary.
Yeah, after last night, I was still on, okay, Will might be playing a game, but he might be there to also find love, but I don't like Will. He really showed me that I think he's kind of possibly abusive. Okay, I this is just an opinion based on what I'm seeing, and I know I'm only seeing an hour of a day, sometimes an hour of 2 days, but it's also based on what everybody who's come out the villa has said. They said that Kira and Will ostracize themselves. They separate themselves in the villa. They always go off to the side. I think he's trying to make sure she's alienated so she doesn't like really fit in with the girls, because he's trying to win. Because last night their reaction to the vote was scary. And then how he talked to the girls afterwards and the guys about what the girls did was absolutely, I mean, I was not a fan.
No, me neither. And so with like the whole like pulling themselves and being separate, that is a manipulation tactic that abusive boyfriends or partners do to keep them separate, to make him be her only world, to not allow them to have influence from their friends, for their friends to not see what they're doing, to paint the narrative that like, oh, they're just jealous of what we have. And you know, we're good. You forgive me. What does it matter what they say? And it pits her against her friends, against them. And so that she's only looking to him. It's very, very manipulative. And it's just, to me, it's becoming more and more obvious that he's grooming her to be a submissive partner that like he's able to walk all over and do whatever he wants, and she will always forgive him. This is like he will get, it's like the type that will get married, and like I said, he'll have another family. She'll find out about the family and she will be like okay with it. She won't tell any of her friends because she doesn't want her friends to say I told you so. Like none of that. She is just locking her into this relationship with this man, and I don't see it going anywhere but down. Like it's just not good. Not good. So I guess, okay, before that, Shannon and Josh had a little bit of a conversation. Yeah, we're so good. We're so good. I haven't seen you all day. They kiss, and like they actually are starting to look more and more like a couple. Some people are saying that like they're the real deal. Wes says that like, yeah, they are like an actual couple. And I'm starting to see that more with them. I don't really love them, but like they are okay. I like Shannon more than I like Josh. So then Trina gets a text, and it's going to be hearts on fire. Hashtag red hot. Hashtag heart something. Heart dust? I don't know what I wrote down. Heart something. And so they're basically going to find out whose heart rate is going to be raised the most in Tamika's favorite challenge for Love Island, where basically both sexes are going to dress up in sexy outfits, and they're going to try to raise the heart rate of all the people of the opposite sex. So the guys go first. The girls are all sitting down there. Josh is a devil. He wasn't sexy to me. He kisses Shannon, and he twerks a little bit for cash. He was fine. What do you think of Josh?
Could have been better.
Sorry, yeah, they are shoving Josh and Shannon down our throat.
And I'm going to tell you why that is. There are no couples on this season. There are no set couples. There's Josh and Shannon. They're toxic. Will and Kira, they're terrible. Trina and Cinco, they were boring. We literally have had no dates by now. How many people have gotten dates? This season, one couple had a date, and they literally, by the end of the day, imploded after the date. There's been no dates. There's been barely any hideaways. There's only been the two that we've seen with the two couples that at this point we're like, God, do we even really want them together? This season has not been about coupling, and it's actually, and again, it's because the way that the producers have brought in the people, the time that they're giving the people to get to know each other, it is not conducive to creating couples that you want to root for. Who are you rooting for at this point? The only person I'm rooting for at this point is Cash, because I feel like she's the most genuine person. You guys can say she's a liar, she's a manipulator. I think the girl has been honest. I think she's been open about her feelings. She's been a great friend to nearly every single person in that villa, guy and girl. I can't root for anybody else. I really can't.
Nope. Agreed. Totally agree with you. Okay, Dino has a good suggestion here, though. But we can maybe figure this out at the end of this recap. Is we have to change the way that we vote and don't try to throw a vote around. I mean, I just don't know if we can be able to manipulate anything because of the fact that even if it's the bottom people, they're always going to say Jeremy now. We don't get to have the lowest people dumped because if it's not who the producers want to have dumped from the island. So they think it's more dramatic, I guess, if the Islanders choose who go home. No, honey.
It's pissing us off. People are basically like, I don't want to watch the show. I don't want to vote. I just what's the point of all this? Because they did it to vote people off, and they're not voting the people off.
Okay, so Big Red says that they don't think that Jeremy is there because of the producers. I think that they're doing the bottom three thing to force Islanders to pick because they think it causes drama, but that's not the drama that we want. But they could still do the both, right? They drop if they just like the regular formula is they drop the bottom couple, right? Get dumped aside, and there's two other couples left, and then the Islanders have to save one couple or whatever, and then the other one.
Imagine if they had dumped Jenny and Jeremy, boom, and then they had to choose between Cinco and Will and Kira and Trina, and they decide to choose Will and Trina.
They wouldn't have done that.
They wouldn't have. But just imagine.
That would have been getting chosen in that situation, right? Because Shannon hates him more than she hates Cinco.
Obviously.
Ariana says Toby goes through a lot of girls in Love Island UK, but at least he's entertaining. I mean, I was not happy with Toby at all, but at least he's trying to interact with these women, and he's like, at least they're coming in, they're interested in him, and he's like dating them and cuddling them and saying that he wants to get to know them. Like, he's still pretending like he is interested. Jeremy, I don't know, he talks to them once, and then all of a sudden, like, he's just like peanuts at the bar.
It's personality. It's personality. First of all, the only thing I did not like that Toby did was the way he treated Cass, because like it was absolutely disrespectful. But even when he was, whatever happened with him and Chloe, it was at least entertaining.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, it was absolutely entertaining. Even this, when he, like, his family is watching on After the Sun, and they're like, come back alone. He comes back in with Mary, and they're like, damn!
About Toby, it's hilarious. What does his family look like?
I think his dad is black, and then his sister's mixed, and his mom's white.
His mom was white, I guess.
Yeah, but he said he's Nigerian. So, but yeah, it was absolutely funny because even his family was like, his sister's like, he's done the same thing to Cass. He did the same thing to Chloe. Now he's done the same to AJ. And her father's like, it's okay, calm down. She's like, no, I can say it. He's my brother. I was dying. But again, at least it's entertaining because
Toby's not entertaining.
His personality there. Like, that I don't think Toby's been malicious in any way. He's generally trying to find a connection. He just is young. He doesn't know how to do this at all. I don't think so.
Well, I mean, when he got really mad at Chloe for the fact they're in the bottom.
No, that was dumb. Like, I'm like, you don't see how that makes her feel? Like, why would make her feel like you're playing a game by being mad that y'all are in the bottom and not understanding why you're in the bottom? But that's because the only reason why I get it now is because then he has that conversation with Kaz later, and he's like, he doesn't think what he did was wrong. So that's why he didn't understand. And she's trying to tell, she understood because she knew that what they did was wrong. And he's not getting it because he still didn't get it for weeks, that what he did to Kaz was wrong.
But anyways, the point being is we shouldn't be talking about Toby when we should be talking about Jeremy. But Jeremy brings absolutely nothing to the show. No drama. That we want to go to another series from another country and talk about a dramatic moment.
He's bringing the drama, and Jeremy is. I don't think we heard 2 words of the Jeremy. The episode. No, we heard 2 words. Literally 2 words. The episode before the dumping. Like, he was basically like, the girls were with the social media was stupid. That was it. I don't think we heard anything else from him that entire episode.
I don't think so. Jayquan, though, is a fan of Josh and Shannon, thinking that they're the most realistic couple. Other Islanders also say they're most I mean, they seem like a real couple to me. I just don't really care that much for them. I don't care for
they're the same people who loved Johnny and Sally last season because, that's real life. Men play around and then they come back to their girl. I said, that is not real life.
I mean, I liked Johnny and Selly more than I liked Caleb because I did feel like they had a better connection. But I was very upset with him after the CASA AMOR incident, and like it took me a long time to come around to like not being pissed and thinking that he was doing something similar to Will with the gaslighting and not allowing Selly to come around on her own terms. I was kind of pissed about that. And that sunglass moment, I was pissed about that. But because Selly decided to forgive him, I decided to forgive him and just be like, this is her journey. I'm not going to be mad at him for her when it's definitely none of my business. But this one, Shannon and Josh, they're okay. They're a real couple. They're boring at this point, and I don't really care, and I don't want them to win. So that's a problem.
Yeah.
Corey fans voted for Olivia, like Cash fans voted for Charlie. Yes, I did vote for Charlie, and now I wish I vote for Cinco.
Same. I voted for Charlie and Corey, and I wish I voted for Cinco twice.
Hi, CJ. Trina should have gone home.
Listen, I don't mind Trina. At this point, she's just there. I just don't, unless they bring in more guys, what is she going to do there? I mean, she could switch to Charlie, but they're not going to win.
See, that's what the problem is too with the Islanders picking people, is that if we were dumping, we would be dumping people with their partner, right? So it would have been Jeremy and Florida that would have been dumped. So it wouldn't be one guy that's alone and doesn't have a partner. Then Giovanni and Olivia would have stayed. They might not have been together, but like they still are a unit, you know what I mean? And so she would realize that like, oh my God, like I'm not with Giovanni anymore. Like I miss him, or like I want to see him. I want to hang out. Maybe we should try this again. Like they didn't really give them the opportunity to see if that was something that could happen, or her seeing him with somebody else. Maybe that would be like, oh my gosh, like I didn't realize that I was interested in him. Whatever the case is. But the fact that they're like jumping half couples and half of this couple, and then this person has to find someone new, like that's why we're not keeping any relationship still, because we're not keeping any couples or people working on being a couple in the villa. We're like dumping half of them.
And to be fair, the producers sent in the girls for the guys that were there. Most of those girls did say they wanted to see Giovanni, apparently, but again, he was gone. Like I said, I could have saw him with a Flo situation. They both live in Miami. She's a rapper. I think he would have liked her. But they might have sent in Alana earlier, or one of these other girls into Casa Amor, rather than sending the girls if Giovanni was there and Jeremy was not. So there's also that as a factor. I think I just don't see Giovanni not finding somebody, even for a little bit, like and genuinely trying to build something between them based on what he did prior to this. And even if he came back to Olivia, that would have been understandable, but that would have been a show. Jeremy just sitting in the villa, going after girl after girl through girl, like is not saying nothing, doing nothing, bringing nothing to the show. It's not working for me. It's not working.
It's like, oh, they're gonna get coupled up with Jeremy so they can just get dumped. That's just it. Like you're gonna choose Jeremy, oh, you're gonna get dumped. And he's not gonna get dumped, but you will.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ariana thinks that the best case scenario would have been the girls sending Cinco home and the boys sending Kira home. Will would have left too, so that's 3 people in the game. I don't even think that Will would have left if Kira was sent home.
Oh, he wouldn't have left. That's why I was saying that imagine if they kept Trina and Will. Because I don't think Will would have left. He would have done a Lucinda and stayed on there and tried to couple up with somebody else.
So yes, I do agree with you here, Brandy. Like, Shannon and Josh are the longest couple in there. They've been there from day one. They've had their ups and downs. They are working on their relationship. Like, they are definitely the front runners to win this game right now. All the votes for any other couples, maybe even the Will and Kira votes, will go on them. So right now they are, I would say, a shoo-in to win. And I think Cash is in danger unless they bring in some people, because who's she going to partner up with? Because I think that one of those girls they're going to sink their sights on Charlie, and he is going to move. I think he's going to have his head turned. Hi, Luna. While I wait for Love Island UK to start. Oh, it already started probably. Yeah, I'm behind on these comments. Definitely don't trust that Charlie. I saw that, but I don't know where it is. Hold on. Oh my God, so far back. I'm going to have to. You guys been talking a lot. Okay, I'm gonna have to just.
It was a 2-hour episode.
No, I know, but like we've been talking, but like I haven't been keeping up with all the comments. So like I'm an hour behind in the comments almost.
Oh no!
I'm gonna just jump ahead. Sorry, guys. I do want to hear what you have to say, but you know, whatever. We're here together for a couple hours. Hi, Underground. Thanks for joining us. I think Charlie agreed to her dating both of them, and the combos she had are combos for your girlfriends, not your dating. You mean when Cash is talking to Charlie about like where she's at? But she also said that she's going to be upfront and honest because she didn't want him to feel as though he's left out of like and is shocked by anything that she does. So I think that she was trying to be honest with him, and he should have just said like, okay, I thought I wanted you to
honesty.
be off. You've been honest there.
I don't know. Again, as I said, based on what I keep seeing, people think Cash is lying and manipulating, but I don't understand how she's lying and manipulating by telling the truth constantly. So if you always know what she's doing and where she's at, how is she lying and manipulating?
Exactly. Earth Angel agrees here. Like she told her where she was at, and he agreed to be on that journey.
Because she wasn't going to bring him back. She was like, I think I should go back alone because she did not want to put him in this situation where he felt second place. So he said he's a big guy, he could handle it, and he was fine with the situation as it was.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Okay, let's just bounce down here. Hi, Sola. Thanks for joining us. So when Cash told him that she finally chose him, he seemed very disappointed. Like he was hoping that she would have picked Cinco. Exactly. Yes, exactly what we were saying. I think that he wanted her to pick Cinco, but still have the public love because he didn't turn his head. Yep.
So that's why I said if he's a smart game player, he might not be a good actor in that he can pretend to be with her. He won't leave her. If he's smart, he will realize that leaving her is not going to get him anywhere near where his game plan is. But I don't know if Charlie's smart enough.
Oh my God, there's so much more left in this episode. Okay, let's go talk about the this game. So Josh goes first, and he's the devil, kisses Shannon, twerks for Cash. Next up is Corey as some sort of like construction dude type thing. He rips his shirt. Did you find him sexy?
Corey, the ripping of the shirt.
Pardon?
The ripping of the shirt.
I guess I don't find him attractive in that way. I think he's handsome or like good looking, but I don't find him sexy.
I didn't. His movements were kind of, I don't know. He's not my type. So the movements were kind of like, but the ripping of the shirt was good.
Yeah, and there was like it was just Sean Paul's shut up, Paul. Like, I just was like I didn't feel the
I'm like you're cute, Corey, but go sit down.
Okay, so what was Will's outfit? So he was wearing like tearaway track pants and like a shirt and like a baseball cap.
It looked like he went for a jog somewhere. Like I don't know. I'm like, at least if he had put on like some gold chains or something, I could have said he was trying to be an old school rapper or b-boy or whatever. Like I was like, I don't understand this outfit at all.
I thought it was maybe Magic Mike. And so with it being Magic Mike, I was expecting him to tear away the pants. Those were snap ups. He missed opportunity to do that.
He was dry to me. I didn't. No, nothing like. And then Kira's reaction, like it was between him not doing it properly and then Kira's reaction to it that I was just like, yeah, get them both off my screen. Because why are you pissed off at him for dancing with Trina? Oh, I thought he was going to kiss me, but he went and danced more on the other girls than he did. I was like, are you?
Well, and when she was talking about it after to the women, Cash was like, well, it's probably the red lipstick. And that's what I first think. I was like, no guy doing this whole thing is going to want to have a whole mouth full of red lipstick. Like maybe like a kiss on the cheek or in the neck or something.
Yeah.
To look like
okay, so that made sense because then remember she did kiss him and he had lipstick all over his teeth and stuff.
After?
when she does her dance,
right?
And she kisses him, he had lipstick all over his teeth.
And he just, it's just not sexy at all. Like in the moment, it's fine, but like if you're like on TV and you're supposed to be like dancing with people and like they have like lipstick all over your mouth, it's just kind of like, I don't know. I would have been, don't wear red lipstick if you want to make out with your boyfriend on camera. Like, it's just a thing. All guys will always just be like, just give me a little peck because you don't want lipstick all over your face. It's just
right.
It's facts. These are facts. He ripped off his shirt. I wrote down, why didn't he rip off his pants? Question mark. Okay, so what was Charlie? Was he a gnome? Was he
I think it was Peter Pan or Robin Hood. Like, I don't know. It was not working for me.
That hat?
That hat. Oh my god. I don't know. Maybe that was the only thing he could fit in. He's very like muscular up top. I don't know. It was just like, okay, no.
But he ends up lifting Jenny and not Cash, and I was just like, you're so rude. Like, he's just rude.
Like, how obvious can you be? Like, are you kidding me? I was so pissed off that he did that.
It's rude. I mean, I think we've all figured it out. He didn't want Cash to pick him in the end, and so maybe he's still trying to like change that narrative. So if there's a recoupling, she will go to Cinco or something. Like, she'll change her mind. Like, I don't know what it is, but like, this is not how you act with someone that just said, "Hey, I choose you."
Right.
At all. Okay, so then the producers did Jeremy dirty, and he's singing. He has a song, "I'm Too Sexy." I think it's Right Said Fred. "I'm too sexy for this shirt." Not a sexy song at all. And it's Jeremy coming out, and he's wearing one of the least sexy things ever, which is tight denim jean shorts. Jean shorts are just not sexy on a guy. Jean shorts are sexy on women, but not on a guy. And a leather vest. I'm just like, what is happening here? He's wearing sunglasses, and he also rips his shirt at some point, and then he's just like in his denim jean shorts and like a vest. I'm just like, whoa.
The majority of these outfits I was not a fan of. Like, so for that reason, the girls to me did way better than the guys. Just outfits alone, because their outfits were not working for me.
Well, what on earth, though? I mean, did you like? I did. Cinco as a nerd.
Cinco was the best one to me. I think he did the best. And we see the results of that. But I think he did the best. I think his outfit was the best. Yeah, I think personally he was my favorite guy.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Cinco. I screamed when he was with Trina. I screamed when he picks up Cash, and she's screaming encore. I definitely enjoyed him. He seemed to be having the most fun. He was the best guy, 100%. So we see Jenny comes out as a cheetah. She looked good, I thought. She's just kind of riding everybody. Okay.
Yeah.
What was Kira's outfit though? She looked pretty, but like I didn't understand what her outfit was. Like,
it was just lingerie.
Okay.
She was stiff to me. I was just like, the guys were like, woo, and I was like, I don't see what she's doing, but okay.
I thought Cash looked hot.
Cash was great.
Just bending over, clapping, twerking, shaking, whatever, right in everybody's face, including Cinco's.
Yeah, she did a good job.
Definitely a good job. You see Cinco after like praying and very much feeling as though he raised his heart rate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she did a really good job. She really did. I was like you could see the difference between her and the others because she's a dancer.
For sure. But, Shannon came in, and I thought Shannon did a very good job as well.
She pretty much, she was my winner.
She was in red. The song was searching for some hot stuff, which was really good. She's jumping on Josh's lap and she kisses it. Like, she was just very good. It was a good show, and she's thrashing her hair around and like
when she dropped the pencil, picked it up and put it in whose mouth was that?
It was Shannon, not Olivia.
Oh, Olivia. Oh, Shannon, I wasn't a fan of Shannon either.
Okay, that's so confused. I'm like, are you sure? I thought you liked
Olivia. Yeah, no, Olivia was my favorite. I wasn't a fan of Shannon. First of all, her outfit was weird. I guess she was trying to match Josh.
I thought Shannon was okay though. I liked how she was like, she seemed confident. I like how she like made him get up and catch her. Like, she was very like, I thought she was pretty good. Definitely better than Kira and
Kira?
better than Jenny.
Yeah, I mean, better than Kira, better than Jenny. Just middle to me.
Now, Trina, though, she doesn't even get her own song, so she gets the same song as Shannon, so Hot Stuff is still playing for Trina, so she didn't even get like, an entrance. I loved her outfit. It wasn't really like a striptease kind of outfit, but I thought the denim on denim was very cute, and she looked cute in it.
Mm-hmm. I feel her outfit was the same as Will. I wasn't getting it. I wasn't understanding of the outfit. But again, maybe it was similar to Charlie. Maybe that was the only thing she could fit in.
I mean, I thought she looked okay, but it didn't seem like a striptease outfit. I thought it was like going out. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, did she pull that from her wardrobe?
Maybe she's also not the type of person that would want to wear like an actual outfit. So she was like trying to find something she felt comfortable in.
Right.
She kisses Cinco. Cinco was very surprised that he kissed her. He's like, I thought she hated me.
I was like, what are you doing, Trina? What are you doing?
Messy. And then, oh Lord, we got the school teacher, which was Olivia, who came out. She had her cheeks showing underneath her little plaid skirt. I love that she had like a bit of a prop for every single guy. So the first one, she bites the apple and she puts the apple bit in Cinco's mouth, and then the pencil.
I swear. Winner.
She put on a show. I thought that was fun. Like, she thought it out. She knew what she was going to do. It wasn't just like awkward grinding on each guy. Like, she had purpose for every person that she was dancing with. So I love it as a person that comes from a dance background that she choreographed that whole thing. And I thought it landed really well. Her hair, she just looked really good. She looked confident, probably because she practiced. And I thought it worked really well. So I definitely felt that she was, she did the best show, and it was the most entertaining to see her in a new light. I was like, yes, Olivia, go for it. Get it, girl. So I thought it was cute, though. Cinco was reviving Corey at the end of that one because his heart stopped because it gave her a heart attack. So they're just being silly and trying to resuscitate Mr. Corey from Olivia's sexiness. So the girls all return, and another person comes in, and I thought it was going to be a new Islander, which they've done that before when like the guys were still there. 2 new girls came in. That's where last season it was Julia and Lakin, I believe, came in an outfit, a devil and an angel, and they did the dances with the guys as well. So I thought that that's what was happening. So I thought that Catwoman was a new Islander, but it was Ariel, who looked gorgeous.
Amazing. She looked amazing. Her dance and her reveal was amazing.
And Cash is like, it's Ariel. It's Catwoman. It's Ariel. I loved it. I thought it was a really good twist, a surprise. I liked seeing them like reveal that moment. It really worked well for me, I thought. So she asked, though, all the men to sit on one side and all the women to sit on the other side. And we've kind of talked a lot about this recoupling, but basically the top 3 couples, they stayed, 3 men, top 3 women stayed, and then there was 3 men and 3 women that were in the bottom, and then they saved 4 people. Like, it was really bad how it went. But in the end, who went home was Cinco and Jenny.
Yeah, and Cinco.
What ends up being a little bit of a drama is the fact that Trina was saved by the women, as opposed to, I did think that Kira was going to be saved by the women, but
Cash said, they said who we're going to save, and they said Trina, and Cash was like, no, we got to save Kira, because in her head she's thinking we have to save Will and Kira because they're a couple, right? And they convinced her to save Trina because she needed to find somebody. So I wasn't mad with that decision because in my head, I'm thinking, Shannon, it might have been gameplay, but in my head, I'm thinking, well, you guys were in the bottom as it is. So if you guys leave the villa together, you found each other, it should be fine for Will and Kira.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and then Shannon gets what she wants because she probably doesn't want like a strong couple there if she's playing a bit of a game.
Right.
And so she has a better shot at winning in the end. And she doesn't really like Will at all. So like they both can just leave and she doesn't have to listen to Kira cry about him anymore. And she kills many birds with one stone. So
Right.
I did think that they were going to keep Kira and Will just because like, for Kira because Kira's so into Will, but I was okay with them saving Trina because they wanted to see if she can find a chance at love. So I was like, okay with that. I wasn't obviously okay with them saving Jeremy. Get out of here. The guys save Jeremy, please. Please, please, please. And then they did the reverse of it. So the women now are going to decide which guy's going to stay, and then the guys are going to decide which girl's going to stay. The guys choose Kira, and the girls choose Will, right? I guess.
Yeah, that's how it
Anyways, I was just annoyed. So Cinco, Jenny leave immediately. I was like, this show is whack, 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 whack. I had to say that Trina gave a good eye roll, though, at the end when everybody was leaving, and Cinco hugs Jeremy. She just like, her eye roll was like... It's like, Trina, don't hide it. Don't hide an eye roll. So I thought that was going to be the end of the episode because I was like, it seemed quite long, but it was pretty much the halfway point. And so we see like everybody going into the villa to get their stuff and pack. They have like half an hour before they had to leave. You thought that maybe Jenny would have worn a cute outfit to leave, but she's just wearing sweats and like a hooded sweatshirt. I thought
it was just me like, wow, that's like a stark contrast of everything she's been wearing sitting in the villa the entire time, which was funny.
Yeah, so she's just like super casual. And then in the change room, Cash was like, you were my villa experience and like you're mine. And, he's like, Cash, it was you the whole time. And it's like, of course you can say that when you're leaving. Of course you can say that when she's in another couple. It was always you, it was always you. It's like, well, you didn't tell me it was always me when it mattered.
Oh, that pissed me off. Again, the man pissed me off. Melvin pissed me off at every point in this episode. That's why by the end of it, I was kind of like okay with him leaving because don't sit there and say it was always her. Don't sit there and say that she was the one you wanted to be with when you couldn't tell her that you guys could have been together weeks ago.
Yep.
Weeks ago. That's not fair.
Mm-hmm. Oh, see, as Dana, I can see this happening with Will, man. I'm scared for Kira because she's so willing to be trusting this man. And hi, Kanisha. She just wants to put out there that she didn't like Will from day one. Okay, I'm just making sure that this is on record that you've said this now, Kanisha. I don't trust him.
I liked him.
God. My stomach started to hurt when you said Will is grooming Kira.
That's what he's doing. And I'm only saying this based on what people are saying, what we're seeing now, because those behaviors always eventually show. I don't like it.
Yeah, it's scary. It's scary. And so people are coming for Cash in the change room when he was leaving. And I thought it looked like Cinco wanted to kiss Cash. Like, that's what it looked like to me. And
he was going to kiss Cash. It wasn't wanted to kiss Cash. He pulled her back into the alcove so nobody could see. And the man was going to lay one on her. And she said to him, I would really love to kiss you, but it would make me want to leave, and I can't do that. And she allowed him to kiss her on the cheek, and she walked away. That is a problem, apparently.
Cash was the one that asked him that wanted him to kiss her or wanted to kiss him, and that she's a bad person. And then she goes over and tells Charlie about it, even though it was her that was like trying to get the kiss to happen. And I was like, I watched it and I didn't see it that way at all. I was like, oh my God, are they going to kiss? Oh my God, is he going to kiss her? Is he going to kiss her? Is he going to kiss her?
He
Like,
was going to kiss her. Like, he pulled, like, there's a actions that you can tell what is going to lead to the next thing. He literally pulled her back into the alcove to kiss her privately behind, so that nobody could see, not so that the cameras couldn't see, so nobody else could see him kissing her, and she stopped him. And at this point, people are giving her so much shit, and I love that so many people are mad that Cash is that all of a sudden Cash and Cinco are the it couple. I was like, for weeks, for months now, we've been saying that Cash and Cinco would have been good together, that Trina should have never interrupted them because they had something. There was chemistry. No, they didn't. There was nothing. Trina's more beautiful. He likes her more. There's more chemistry there. It's only sexual chemistry. Now all of a sudden, oh, she knows she wanted to kiss him. She knows that she was gonna kiss him. She lied. I'm like, all of a sudden now everybody is team Casino on this situation, but they couldn't see the chemistry prior to this.
I don't know what's wrong with these people. So Janine, hi Janine, thanks for joining us. Cash should have left with her man. Cash is also there to make some money. Like, she's still there to make some money. And
she wasn't okay. She was not coupled up with him. I don't understand. What is she supposed to do with a man she was not coupled up with?
If he had said, I want to be with you, she would have maybe considered it. He never said it when it mattered. He never said it when it mattered. So if she were to leave with him right now, there's no guarantee that they would even be together because he didn't say it when it mattered.
I'd catch you on the outside after the finale, and I possibly win 100K, and we could go have a good time.
I'm gonna ride it out with Charlie right now because I need to give him a chance. Yeah. Because I gave you a chance and you didn't take that opportunity. Charlene says, yeah, it ticked me off too when Charlie lifted Genevieve. It was so rude. It was so rude. Hi, Healthy. So Charlie didn't dance on Cash the way he should have at all. Charlie is in my, I'm not fan of you at all anymore. Like, no, thank you. Cash should have kissed Cinco. I wanted them to kiss.
I wanted them to kiss so bad. I was sitting there like, oh my God, they're going to kiss. Oh my God, they're going to kiss. And then she did the responsible thing. It's like, shit. And then I see all these things on Twitter, including Murad, saying that she lied. And I was like, I am so confused. The girl might as well have just laid one on him because you guys are giving her shit anyway. At least she would have died happy at this point. Like, what?
I really was like, well, oh my God, he's actually gonna, because he's like pulling her over and he's kind of smiling. He's like, come on, you know, like
I don't know, like as a teenager, if you've ever been a teenager and a guy is like, you know, trying to pull you away from like a bunch of people so that they can kiss you, you know what Cinco's actions were. He was trying to kiss her.
That's what was my first instinct. And I did, and I watched Murad and another person, and they're like, and they even cut to the scene, but they didn't cut to Cinco pulling her in. They just cut to her saying that line. And I was like, well, just seeing her say that line, like, I want to kiss you, but like, it wouldn't be right. I would want to leave with you or whatever she said. And so it looks, without having the whole lead in and seeing him like lure her over and her being like, oh my God, I want to, but like, it's not the right thing to do. Like, it's just out of context at this point. And so I was just surprised that a man and a woman both didn't see it from the same perspective as we've seen.
It's not just them. It's a bunch of people. They're insisting that Cash is a lying, manipulative, fake person because she was going to kiss Cinco, but somehow stopped. And I'm like, that is not what happened. He was going to kiss her, and she stopped him.
Yes, we agree with you. Well, I agree with you anyways. I wasn't feeling Murad's review on this episode either. I didn't think that he had where it's at.
I didn't bother watching it. I saw his comments on Twitter and already knew what it was going to say. I didn't even bother watching it.
Well, like, so he's not liking the way Cash is moving anymore because he thinks that she has been not treating Charlie properly. And I was like, okay, I don't agree with that, Murad, at all. And then the other thing that I'm happy that he came around with, because he used to be like, oh, Will and Kira are such a strong couple, but now at least
exactly. To anybody who says Will and Kira are a strong couple or are Team Trina, I notice have a problem with Cash. Those primarily those people, not so much the Shannon and Josh people, primarily those Will and Kira people and the Trina people have a problem with Cash.
I agree with you here, Nicole. Mira had some of his comments have been bothering me a little bit this season.
I don't think he's watching the show really. So what happens is, remember, he's doing both shows, and then sometimes he stays up and watches this show, and then sometimes he'll watch it later. I just don't think he's watching all of it in context. I think he's watching pieces of it or whatever because he's too tired. And so at this point, I've been ignoring his USA reviews because I think it's BS.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you guys here. I still watch it because sometimes like he has like funny little things that maybe I don't notice or whatever. But he's more on point, I find, with his UK reviews. What he's going with I mean, I love that he's saying that he's pissed that they're not following the dumping format. Because I'm like, he's like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, just dump these people. Like, why is Jeremy still there? Like, keep saying it, please. Maybe someone will hear you, Murad. Why is Jeremy still here? I did laugh because he started that whole beginning for like 5 minutes. He's just like, why is he still here? Why is Jeremy still here? Like, he did it for like 5 full minutes. And I did laugh because I want to know the I know the answer. I want to know the answer to that as well.
Me too.
Okay, when Cinco watches this series, he's definitely going to realize they could have won the thing. Yep.
When he reads Twitter and Instagram and all his Q&As, he's going to realize he dropped the bag.
He dropped the bag. Dropped it. He could have
and he still could have picked the bag up if he had said something to her before Casa Amor. You know what? Not even. If he had said something when she came out of Casa Amor, I said, no, I just want you. I'm going to fight for you and actually fight for you. He would have won. He would have won. That's it.
Charlene is with us here. Yes. I mean, I've liked Olivia a little bit because she's been a decent friend to Cash, but I was feeling her this episode. I was like, you know what? You brought something, like not like Team Furniture of Jeremy. Like you brought something.
Team Furniture. That's
a little too late. Oh, Janine. Oh, maybe it's something else. That might have been something else. Oh, Cinco. Yeah, too late. Will and Kira, the great couple of Love Island. Nah, let me stop. You're trying to make us mad, huh, Jayquan? Always.
I don't think Will and Kira ever were winning this thing after everybody found out that they possibly knew each other. Can't stand Cancer.
Virgo, Jayquan is a Cancer man.
I have not. I don't think I've ever. Again, Cancer is supposed to be something that works well with Taurus. I've not been I've not met a Cancer man that I've liked, so I don't know how they are. Yeah, I tend to for some reason I tend to gravitate towards other Tauruses, Taurus male, Geminis, and Scorpios. I don't know why that is.
Well, yeah, Scorpio is like perfect match for you guys. Well, it's your opposite, but
yeah.
Yeah, you should be into Cancers, but you might just not have met some. Like my dad's a Cancer. He's not really like these two, but he used to be wishy-washy when he was younger.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm like a lot of people are acting like, because when I say that so people don't know his zodiac sign. So when I say, oh, I think it's a lot of his Cancer jumping out, and somebody's like, well, wait, he's a Cancer, and they're like, oh, like it makes sense afterwards. So,
oh, aren't we, Alexandra? We are going to be watching this man like he is on trial. Like he's not gonna be able to do anything in this villa. I'm gonna be eyeing him down. Like I'll be taking videos of every movement he makes. He has.
I'm watching him closely. After what happened this episode, I'll be watching him hardcore. I'm watching him hardcore tonight's episode, the Monday exclusive, and I'm watching him hardcore the Tuesday episode to see what he's doing because I don't trust him.
Not at all. Hi, Charlize. Thanks for joining. Charnice, sorry. Thanks for joining us. So I think that Cash and Cinco's behaviors were the most realistic. I don't think either one of them moved perfectly in the villa, but it seems the closest to real life and them being young. Yeah, but all I would wanted for him to do is just make a decision.
He just needed to make. That's what I'm saying. He could have still salvaged it after CASA AMOR. Even just a little bit, he could have salvaged it. So yeah, that was on him.
So CJ says the producers should wrap the season and give the money to Jeremy at this point since the viewers have no input. Slice. Yep.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Cash and Cinco will be together after the villa. I wouldn't be surprised if
I wouldn't be surprised based on what's happened. And I think if he watches the show back, he's gonna realize that he made the biggest mistake of his life. And I can definitely see them dating after the show. I can definitely see it.
So MKMs wants to know what's wrong with Cancer men.
I don't know. I don't know any Cancer men.
For me, like they don't work with my sign. So I'm an air sign. They're too emotional for me. They're too emotionally manipulative for me. I would not be able to get down with the way that Charlie's acting. I'd be like, we're sulking. Like, get out of here. Any of that emotional anger that he'd be giving to me, I'd be like, okay, well, I'm not really feeling that, so you can take that somewhere else. So for me, I don't get in relationship, I don't get how they try to move. Like this just doesn't work for me. But I'm an air sign, and air and water just don't work. Like my mom says, like you're so heartless. My mom's also a Cancer, and I'm like, well, no, I just like. If I'm not feeling it and I want you to be emotionally trying to manipulate me, like I'm not down with that.
Right.
And so she thinks I'm heartless, but I'm just like, just not feeling it. A lot of people can't see the truth about Cache because of her skin complexion. That is really sad, and that's very true.
Yeah, I said the same thing with Cash. I see the same thing with Cash, and I see the same thing with Kaz in the UK on how Kaz is handling Tyler right now and how Cash has been handling Charlie. It's very similar in how both men approached both of them, and then the reactions of things that have happened since then. And for some reason, both men aren't getting any smoke. The smoke have been for the Black women because they choose not to be a second choice or to take whatever crap they're being given and fed.
Absolutely. I agree with you here, Alexandra. Kira and Will need to exit stage left, please.
I don't like them. I don't like them. And I had gotten to that point, it wasn't Selly. I'd gotten to that point with Selly and Johnny's relationship last season, but I actually feel like with Kira and Will, it's a lot worse than that. Actually.
I liked Johnny and Selly more than I ever liked Kira and Will. Mm-hmm. Like I never really was that into them. I was like, okay, well they just make out, whatever, they're fine.
Yeah.
So Earth Angel Cache is a Capricorn, so she does work well with Charlie. They're opposites, so they would be able to understand each other quite decently. But I think with how things went down, they're not able to connect properly anymore. They would have had to have no other interference because he's emotional. He's a water sign. He's Cancer. Mm-hmm.
And time. I think time also was a factor. I think they needed more time.
100%. Okay, so let's get to this part. So Will and Kira have a little bit of conversation after they were coupling and all the dance and all that stuff. And they talk about so why did the guys choose Jeremy? So Will is upset that the guys chose Jeremy over him. Interesting. And then why the girls chose Trina over Kira. And so Will is starting to get Kira to feel a type of way about the women. Like, I can't believe that they just they disrespected you like this. Like, you're supposed to be their best friend, and we have a real relationship here. Why wouldn't they have saved you to give you the chance to work on something? They're jealous of our relationship. Why are they giving Trina this opportunity when they should have given you? These are supposed to be your girlfriends. So I was like, he is just trying to make her friend the enemy so that he could just rope her in, just have her all to herself. And I was like, man, Kira is in for it.
Yeah, I didn't like that conversation, and I didn't like the Charlie and Cash conversation when he was saying that she chose Cinco, and she was like, "I chose Will." We hear her to say Will. We hear her tell them send Cinco home so I can focus on Charlie, and he then comes back and says that she chose Cinco, and he knows that she chose Cinco, even after she told him numerous times she did not. I was not happy. So between those conversations, that those two relationships are like off for me.
100%. That Charlie coming for Cash was not where it was at. And she's like, if I wanted Cinco, I would be with Cinco. And like, I was just like, I'm pissed at him. Charlie is just like, he's just gross to me now. She does tell him like he tried to kiss me and all this stuff. I don't think that she maybe should have said that, because I feel like even her saying like he tried to kiss me, but I turned it down, it's just reminding Charlie that they had something. And so I thought that maybe she should have kept that to herself. Just especially because it seemed like he's looking for any sort of reason to get out of pursuing something with her. But all I wrote down is like, I am not feeling Charlie right now.
I don't know if she hadn't mentioned the kiss. If she had not mentioned the kiss, I feel like the audience would have took it a different way, because they're already taking it a different way, even though she mentioned the kiss. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I'm pissed at Charlie. Shannon thinks that Will is shady, and I was like, Shannon is smart. She's what, a Pisces, I believe. Pisces are very intuitive, and so she's probably feeling, the shady boots of Mr. Will, because he is shady. So Will is questioning the guys about why, they made their decision, why the girls made their decisions. And I think this is Will starting to panic about the fact that like he was in the bottom, and like, they weren't going to save him, and he might go home, and he's there for the money, and he's playing this big game. And
not even he was in the bottom. They were both in the bottom.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And so they do get a text though, and they're going to be having these new women come in there. So these three new women are going to be choosing guys for 2 meals each. And so Corey gets the text, and Ellie's going to be taking him for his entree. Will has Alana taking him for entree. Bailey wants Jeremy to make him an entree. And then Ellie wants Charlie for dessert. Bailey wants Corey for dessert. And somebody wants Jeremy for dessert as well, I think. Is that right?
Jeremy. I know that Charlie only got chosen by one person. And I think everybody else got chosen
twice.
Twice, I think.
Correct.
Maybe Will didn't get. No. Yes, I'm right. So yeah, I think Charlie only got chosen for one meal.
Correct. And so Will gets picked, obviously, for one of these dates. And then here is James being like, oh my God, I can't catch a break. I can't catch a break here.
I was like, what are you talking? I'm telling you, Will as much as Kira as much as Will was on my nerves this whole entire episode. I don't like either of them.
Hold on. Okay, so one thing that I didn't like about Josh was that he could have stepped to Will. I get he don't like the drama, but nobody disrespecting my girl. Then you talk to Shannon on the side. Yeah, I mean, he started to not defend Shannon, and then she defended Shannon. So like I came around to what Josh was saying, but like him allowing Will to go on a little bit when Will was complaining to him, I was like, whoa. Like, you should know that he's not actually being a good guy, because you saw him in CASA AMOR. So don't pretend like Will was an angel,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know what that's about.
So Cash is like, we gotta have to look hot tonight because these new girls are coming in, taking our men for dates. Charlie and Cash have a conversation, and she's just like, I want you to go. I want you to explore. I know that you would say the same thing to me. And she's like allowing him to be open. He doesn't have to be completely closed off on his date. They kiss. And so this is like, I'm like, oh my God, Cash, you might regret this, because I feel like his head's going to be turned. So Will is taking pictures of all the girls, and then he's like, Shannon, can we talk? And she's like, ugh. When she did
hilarious.
That.
Absolutely
hilarious. Inside voice.
Absolutely hilarious.
It was so good. So they started talking, and he's basically saying that she's being a bad friend to Kira for the fact that they chose Trina. And she's like, no, like, America put you two in the bottom. Like, you shouldn't be mad at me. You should be mad at yourself and you and how you were moving in CASA AMOR, because that's why you were put into the bottom in the first place. And he didn't seem to get that. He just wanted to put it back onto Shannon, back onto Shannon. And Shannon eventually like flipped, and she's like, you know, that's not my problem. And she's just like, I don't like you. I don't like you for my girl. I don't want you with there anymore. And they started like getting kind of heated. Now, this is the only time so far this season that I've really had a problem with Cash's perspective. Because Cash was like, oh, I don't think it's right that Shannon's saying anything to him. Absolutely, she should be saying something to him. He pulls her for a chat about his girlfriend. And she's not supposed to have an opinion. She's supposed to just be like Kira, and just be like, anything you say, Will.
I will say this. I'm not sure if Cash, you know, was she sitting there when he pulled her?
Kira was there. Yeah.
No, Cash.
I think Cash was taking the pictures with them. I'm not sure though.
Okay.
I think it was all the women.
Right. I agree. Yes. It was all the women. They were all sitting on the day bed. Okay. I agreed with Shannon on this entire thing. Only because Will pulled her for a chat. So if you're gonna pull me for a chat and you want to talk to me because you want to squash things, but you don't like what I have to say, and you're gonna start yelling at me, I'm gonna start yelling back at your ass, and you either take the smoke or leave me alone. Period. Now, if she had come and did an Anna and was in his face and blah, blah, blah out of nowhere, that's different. But other than that, like, I agreed with Shannon and everything that she did this episode. Well, not everything that she did this episode. Everything she did in that segment.
She's like, I don't think that Kira should be like with a guy like you. She cried all night. And like, that's something that like, he doesn't really seem to understand. Like, well, she forgave me. I told her what happened. She forgave me. It's like, it doesn't matter if she forgave you or not. She still was hurt by your actions. Your actions, Will. And she was pointing that out. So the fact that Cash was like, oh, like, I don't think that, you know, she should be saying anything. It's like, he pulled her out of her moment taking a picture, and he wanted to hear what she had to say, or he wanted to tell her what he wanted to say, and didn't expect Shannon to come back with any sort of response and have any sort of opinion and have any sort of reaction. Like, I think that that's completely naive. And Kira, go get your man then. If you don't want him talking to Kira, go get your man. Go be like, hey, I don't want you guys to get involved in this. This is our relationship. Like, let's not involve Shannon with this at all. Like, if that's the case, go back.
Well, we see that they all have different perspectives on how certain things should be handled, because remember with the Jenny and Leslie situation, Kira was the one that was trying to get Shannon to shut up, basically. Cash was trying to be a little more diplomatic about it, like, you know, it's not worth it, blah, blah, blah. But Shannon was going off. I'm more of like, you disrespect me, you're not going to like what comes out of my mouth, period. But that's me.
Absolutely. And like, he was aggressive, but it was like he was gaslighting, and Shannon is not going to allow him to speak to her that way. And even, I don't know who said kick me while I'm down. I'm sure it was Kira being like, oh, like, now they're fighting. Kick me while I'm down. But Will says, you betrayed your friend. And I was like, no, you betrayed your couple by not sleeping in that empty bed. You betrayed Kira. Because, like, why is Will talking about betrayal when he actually made the ultimate betrayal of Kira? If he's sparing Kira from all of her feelings, and he's being her knight in shining armor and standing up for Kira in front of these women. Like, no. You should be standing up for Kira in front of yourself, Will, because you have not been a respectful boyfriend to Kira in this moment. That's
I just didn't understand. First of all, if Kara didn't like how the conversation was going, she should have stepped in and said something. That's my personal opinion. If I didn't like how the conversation was going between my boyfriend and my best friend, I would have said something. I really would have.
Mm-hmm. I'd just be like, no, you guys are not having a fight about me. Like, this is separate. Like, I would have stepped in, absolutely, because, like, especially if what Shannon was saying wasn't what I believed, Like,
right. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Like, if the way Kira's going on about it is she doesn't understand why Shannon is so upset. It doesn't make any sense because that's not how she feels. Remember, that's what she told him. That's not how she feels. So if that is not how you feel, I would have stepped in. I would have said, listen, Shannon, I love you. Thank you for always being there and protecting me. But that's not how I feel. I really do forgive him. I really am okay with this. You know, no reason for you two to get into a fight over me.
So Alexandra says, Shannon's the only one checking people that need to be checked. Check. The rest was just whispering concerns behind everybody's back. Absolutely. I would be more mortified if I was Kira to find out how things go on after. She'd be like, why didn't you tell me? Like, why didn't you say something? Like, that's what's going to happen. You knew and you didn't say anything? Hi, Amy. Thanks for joining us. So the fact that all the other girls had an issue with Shannon speaking her mind irks me. Yeah, I was irritated, but they're all just kind of watching and just letting Shannon to be like yelling at Will and then being like mad at Shannon for like overstepping her boundaries. Like Will pulled her for a chat. If he doesn't like the chat, like that's his problem. I want more people like Shannon. I don't know why the other girls were saying it was a bad thing. Me neither, man.
But that is why the only people that are carrying the show right now are Cash and Shannon. Like, the Kara is not. She's, I mean, not only boring, but she's not bringing anything to the personality. You know, right now her personality is all Will, right? And then Trina, she just got deflated once Jeremy rejected her. And you know, that's just been the situation. Olivia, she's just moving mad. She's like Maura, all over the place, but I'm not really seeing what she wants at this point. But we do get a little bit of her personality, but we're not getting a love storyline that I can believe in.
Absolutely. So Jayquan's saying here that after the island interview, Flo is going to drop. So I hope they asked them tough questions. So do we. They're not really great at interviewing. So hopefully Flo just gives the tea without necessarily being asked to like the direct question, because I want to know more about what she thinks about Will, how he thinks she's handled the situation after, now that she's left the villa and all that stuff. Wouldn't you have loved it if it did a moment like Lily? The producers stepped in a way that was very good for Love Island UK this season. They had the woman, so a similar person to Flo, actually, when the recoupling happened and the guy comes back in without a person and he goes and sits down with his woman, and the girls come back out to join like the other guys that are going to be going home that didn't make it into the villa. And one woman was like, I'm shocked, and to start spilling the tea about the fact that she was shocked that she wasn't picked by someone because they were starting a relationship, they had some reciprocated, they were sleeping in the same bed, they were making out, and named the person. And it's been fireworks for the last 2 days because of this like shocking revelation. And then to go so far as having that woman go on a one-on-one with the Kira of the situation and told her everything that happened between them. So this might be an opportunity for them to mimic what they're doing in the UK and bring Miss Flo back for a little bit of a chat with Miss Kira and see. I want to see how Kira reacts in that situation. Would that be great?
I loved it when I watched it this morning. So I was like, but I for Kira, I just don't see it making a difference. Like, I think Millie was going to stay with him up until she talked to Lily. So that, I think that's the difference. That I think no matter what, Kira is going to stay with him. I don't see her leaving unless he stole all the money.
Hi, Liz. Thanks for joining us. So Kira is so passive, y'all. It's scary. I know. I feel like she would be the type of girlfriend that would kill somebody because of built-up anger. Speak up, please. I mean, I think that she would be the accomplice.
I was gonna say that's not the way I would see the situation. I would more see her being manipulated into helping somebody kill somebody. Yep.
Yeah. Like, well, you guys don't know who Carla Homolka is, but like in like some weird, like you just wrapped into this man that's like not a great person. Doesn't seem like it anyways. Hi, Darlene. Thanks for joining us today. Cash wants Cinco. She she should have left with him. She's playing the game like everyone else. No, man, just like Charlie will entertain a woman who talks about another man all the time. Okay, sure, Darlene, but she said that that's what was going to be going on, and he said he was okay with it, and then he also wanted her to be open and honest to where she was. So I think that as soon as it was like it became of just like her talking about the other person, he should have been like, do you know what? I thought that I would be okay with it, but it doesn't make me feel good about our relationship. So just like, if you can let me know where you are at with us, as opposed to letting me know where you're at with that other relationship, that would be better. I don't really behoove her, and I don't think that she left with Cinco for the fact that he never gave her a definitive, like, I want to be with you. So it was, she wanted to still work on her relationship with Charlie because he was actually saying that he was there for her.
Yeah. There's absolutely no, just like there was no reason for her not to come back with somebody from CASA AMOR, there was absolutely no reason for her to leave with Cinco. There's no reason.
Hi, Shazia. Thanks for joining us. You think that Cash and Cinco will get together after the show? I can see it, for sure. And right, Cash isn't really confrontational.
Yeah. I don't think she is.
Open and honest, but she's not like gonna go and make some big scene.
She's not an Amber. She's not an Anna. She's not going to come and rip you a new one. No, that's not her.
Kira would do absolutely nothing but cry if Flo spoke up. Oh my god. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it would have been I would like to see what would happen, because like maybe if she would leave him or if she would stay, and like we'd be like, oh my god, I can't believe you stayed. And Will would apologize and would take him back. Yeah, she would take him back. It's exhausting, shaking my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is exhausting. So basically, you know, that fight happened. It was amazing. Then Will is complaining to Josh, which we kind of talk about it. And he's just like, you know what? Just enjoy your time here. You both stayed. Like, that's the bottom line. You both stayed. So enjoy your relationship. Don't think about the what if or the fact that the order that people pick people in. Like, they didn't know what was going to be happening and how people were going to be happening. But if the two of you went home, that should be great for you. So I was okay with how Josh in the end handled this little mini conversation. Mm-hmm. But then Will with the guys, though, I thought this was really telling. He's like, I'm just thinking. And I think that was like the telltale sign that he is playing a game. He's thinking about how he can spin this and get back into the favor of the audience. And so I think what's going to happen is a relationship proposal's coming. They did it with Johnny.
Okay.
And we're going to do it with Will and Kira. He's going
to. That's not going to work, because it's going to be too manipulative.
Exactly, but it's going to happen, I think. So just lastly, we get introduced to the three new women that are entering the villa. So we got Ellie, who's 22. She's a receptionist. She likes married men. I'm like, okay, that's a great quality to have on your bio. And she's going for Corey. Alana's 28. She is a model, and she's going for Will. And Bailey is 23. She's a marketing intern, and she wants Jeremy. They walk in. Hey, boys. And the episode is over.
Yeah.
It was long. And my voice is what? My gosh, I need to rest.
Yeah, I'm side-eyeing almost every guy that's left at the villa at this point. I'm not a happy camper. So my whole thing is, and I've seen the same thing on Twitter. And if Cash goes home, that's their ratings. The ratings are gonna tank, and that's it.
Absolutely. Finally a different body type.
Yes,
sure.
I'm so happy about it. I mean, you know, somebody's like, oh, she's not plus size. That's like, for this show, it's plus size.
Probably like a 10.
She's a model, though, so.
But she would be considered plus size in the modeling world, for sure.
Yeah.
But, like, she's normal.
Body type.
Compared to the people in this villa, she's bigger. But definitely very normal and looks good, I think. Ellie said she attracts married men, or she's attracted to married men. Well, attracted to married men or only attracts married men or whatnot means that she's been in a lot of triangles that's what I deduce from it. But, you know, if you just think that they married men like her, that's fine too. But it also means that she's not necessarily open to maybe people that are available. So that's interesting too. All right. Well, I love everybody. We did talk for a very, very long time today, but it was a 2-hour episode, so it was to be expected. We love you guys in the comments, so thanks for being so interactive. We look forward to hearing what you guys have to say here. So, Tamika, do you have anything going on to share with the people?
Not currently.
Yes, tell us about Entertainment in Color.
I'm just trying to get through the season of Love Island. I think the producers are ruining the show. They're ruining the show for the next season at this point. Nobody's going to watch. But you can always follow me at Entertainment in Color on all social media.
Yay! Yay, yay, yay. Yes, love you guys so much in the chat. You guys honestly are the best chat on YouTube. Like, you guys are always have all the tea, you get all the information, like everything, and you share it with us. So it definitely makes these really fun to talk about. I know you guys have all done so already, but just in case you haven't, please subscribe to Reality Realness. Ring that notification bell so you know when we go live. We will be going live tonight, Tamika and I, after The Bachelorette. So if you want to pop in and talk to us right when we're feeling after the hometown dates, it will be very interesting to see our perspective there, to see how we talk about The Bachelorette as opposed to Love Island. So yeah, join us tonight at probably about, I guess, 10:15 Eastern, maybe a little bit before, depending on how quickly we get everything together. And we will be talking about the final 3, I guess. It's not the final 4 because Michael went home. So that is coming up. Tomorrow we will be on at 2 p.m. I'll be on at 2 p.m. Eastern to talk about Love Island UK. And then we'll be on at 3 p.m. Eastern to talk about this show.
Monday exclusive episode on Paramount Plus.
Number 4.
Yeah.
But I think that's it. That's all she wrote. Until either later on tonight or tomorrow. Great. Bye, everybody. Thank you.